Elon Musk has just unveiled shocking revelations about what the Navy has been concealing in the Arctic. The enigmatic billionaire is no stranger to headline-grabbing announcements, but this one might be his most explosive yet. What secrets lie beneath the frozen expanse of the Arctic? How did Musk come across this classified information, and what does it mean for the rest of the world? Join me in this video as we dive into the stunning details of Elon Musk's latest expose and cover the mysteries hidden by the Navy in the Arctic. Don't miss out on this earth-shattering revelation. Number 10. The Mysterious Pyramids of Antarctica. There's an interesting idea that the government is possibly hiding triangular buildings in Antarctica believed to have been made by a mysterious ancient group. The Great Pyramid in Antarctica is a strange and controversial discovery that has puzzled both scientists and conspiracy theorists. It remains one of the biggest mysteries of recent years. In 2009, satellite images revealed what appeared to be a giant pyramid in Antarctica, sparking widespread curiosity and debate. The structure looks remarkably like a pyramid with four clear triangular sides, similar to the famous pyramids of Egypt. Its symmetrical shape and size have led some to believe it couldn't be a natural formation. One of the most fascinating things about the Antarctic pyramid is its location. Antarctica is known for its brutal weather and desolate landscapes, making it an unlikely place for such a grand structure. The pyramid's presence raises questions about the continent's past and suggests that a lost civilization might have once thrived there long before it became the frozen land we know today. There are many theories about the Antarctic pyramid. Some people think it might be proof of an ancient civilization with advanced technology, while others believe it could have come from extraterrestrials. On the other hand, skeptics argue that the pyramid-like shape could be due to natural processes or an optical illusion created by light and shadows in the satellite image. In 2016, there was another breathtaking discovery, but this time the discovery of these buildings was made public. 3 huge triangular shapes were found, with one rising over 4,000 feet tall. To give you an idea, that's more than 10 times the height of the famous Great Pyramid of Giza in Egypt, making this a huge find. Officially, the government says these shapes are natural and that there are no records of ancient groups in Antarctica, but many people think differently. The buildings are so perfectly shaped that it's hard to believe they formed naturally. This suggests they were made by a very advanced and smart group that lived in Antarctica maybe 100,000 million years ago, possibly even the Anunnaki. Conspiracy theorists suggest Antarctica might have once been Earth's middle, which would have made conditions there much better for living and building. Also, if the government is purposely hiding these buildings and information about them from Google Earth and other search engines, they must be hiding something important. It could be secrets of the universe, a cure for cancer, or even a source of renewable energy, but we'll only know the truth in time. Number 9. Ice Holes of Antarctica. In the icy reaches of the South Pole, there's a peculiar phenomenon that seems straight out of a suspenseful movie by John Carpenter. For years, scientists have been puzzled by the sudden appearance of massive holes in the ice. These holes, known as polynyas, can stretch over thousands of square miles and defy normal expectations of how ice forms each season. The mystery began in the early 1970s when satellites first spotted a mysterious hole in the ice of the Weddell Sea, only for it to vanish by summer. However, the most dramatic event occurred in 2018 during the coldest winter months, when a colossal hole nearly 3,700 square miles in size appeared in the ice pack. Over just 2 months, it expanded by a staggering 740 square miles before shrinking again as summer arrived. Scientists have tried to uncover the cause of these bizarre holes. Researchers from New York University Abu Dhabi may have cracked the case. Using satellite data and careful analysis, they found that these transient holes are likely formed by cyclonic storms. In September 2017, clashes between warm and cold air masses at the South Pole created cyclonic winds reaching speeds of up to 72 miles per hour and waves as high as 52 feet. These powerful winds pushed the Antarctic ice in different directions, creating openings in the ice pack. While these holes may seem dramatic, they play crucial roles in the ecosystem. Polynyas act as gateways between the ocean and the sky, providing pathways for wildlife such as seals and penguins, and even offering habitats for phytoplankton. Moreover, these openings can impact the atmosphere and may serve as indicators of climate change. The link between polynias and cyclones raises concerns about climate change. As the planet warms, cyclone activity around the poles is expected to intensify. This could lead to more frequent polynia events, potentially disrupting climate models and affecting a broader range of atmospheric and oceanic processes. In 2018, a person who had worked at the South Pole shared an incredible story with journalist Linda Moulton Howe. This person chose to stay anonymous because the information was said to be highly classified. According to him, in August 2003, he and his team were on a secret mission that was disguised as a research trip. During this mission, they stumbled upon a large dark structure sticking out of the ice. They all looked at each other in shock and decided to investigate. The structure had big square doors that slid into the walls when pushed, revealing a long hallway inside. The interior was lit with a strange green-gray light that didn't seem to come from any specific source. The walls were covered in odd hieroglyphics that no one could recognize. It's a wild story, but considering Antarctica is one of the most remote and uninhabited places on Earth, it could be an ideal spot for extraterrestrial beings to operate without being noticed. Number 8. The unusual signals. The Antarctic Impulsive Transient Antenna, ANITA, experiment is a project funded by NASA. It involves a group of antennas mounted on a large balloon that flies over Antarctica. Its purpose is to capture radio signals emitted by high-energy particles from outer space when they interact with Earth's atmosphere. During its flights in 2006 and 2014, ANITA detected some unusual signals that seemed to come from beneath the surface, which was surprising. Normally, such signals would be expected to come from space itself. Scientists also used another tool called IceCube, a neutrino telescope with sensors buried near the South Pole. IceCube is designed to detect faint bursts of light produced by particles passing through the ice, especially neutrinos. The idea was that if ANITA's signals were caused by neutrinos, IceCube should have detected similar signals. However, after examining data from 8 years, no matching signals were found in IceCube. Physicist Justin Vandenbroek from the University of Wisconsin-Madison pointed out that if ANITA's signals were from space, IceCube should have detected them, but this didn't happen. This difference remains a mystery that scientists have yet to solve. Some theories suggest that the signals could be radio waves bouncing through hidden caves or lakes under the ice. Others even propose a link to dark matter, which makes up most of the universe's matter but has never been directly seen. There's also a more interesting idea suggesting that these particles might come from a parallel universe, perhaps a mirrored copy of our own, which could explain why the signals come from below instead of above. This phenomenon continues to puzzle scientists, adding to the appeal of the research. The fact that there are still no clear answers is what makes it such an intriguing challenge for the scientific community to tackle.
You can go back.
In our earlier discussion about old and highly advanced civilizations in Antarctica, many think there might be a lost city of Atlantis hidden beneath the icy continent. This idea becomes more popular when considering that Antarctica was once much warmer and positioned nearer to the equator. Atlantis, described as a warm city in old texts, would have thrived in a warmer climate during ancient times, unlike the icy conditions. According to Charles Hapgood's writings, it is believed that the people of Atlantis moved from Antarctica as temperatures cooled. They traveled to civilizations like the Aztec, Mayan, and Egyptian empires, aiming to preserve their knowledge and people. This migration could also explain the similarities in these empires' advanced skills, teachings, and ancient structures for their time. In 2021, something amazing happened in Antarctica. A group of scientists from New Zealand was exploring the Larsen ice shelf when they made an incredible discovery. Using a hot water hose, they drilled about 1,640 feet into the huge ice sheet of the Antarctic Peninsula. What they found was a hidden world never seen before by human eyes. They sent a camera down into the hole they had drilled, expecting to capture footage of the icy depths. However, they soon noticed something surprising: their view was being blocked. At first, they thought their equipment might be broken, but upon closer inspection, they found the reason: hundreds of small shrimp-like creatures swimming through the water. These creatures, scientifically called amphipods, are small shellfish. Finding such life thriving deep under the Antarctic ice was an exciting moment for the team. They had not expected to find such a lively ecosystem in such a tough environment. It was a truly groundbreaking discovery. There's an interesting conspiracy theory that claims Antarctica is the hidden entrance to a mysterious world inside our planet. In January 2019, NASA reported that scientists had found two huge craters deep under Antarctica's thick ice. These craters were first spotted by researchers in 2006 and are thought to have been created by a giant asteroid that hit Earth millions of years ago, causing the extinction of the dinosaurs. However, conspiracy theorists have a much more intriguing explanation for these craters. They believe the craters are secret entrances to inner Earth, where a hidden base exists, similar to those used for sinister purposes during World War II. If this idea sounds unbelievable, a quick look at some historical records might make it seem more credible. Beyond this supposed base, the theory goes even further. Some believe that within inner Earth lies a lush tropical paradise, a haven for the wealthy and powerful elite of our world. This hidden realm is said to be a place of excess and indulgence, accessible only to those with immense wealth and influence. Imagine a secret, perfect world right beneath our feet, reserved for the most privileged members of society. It's an exciting and fantastical idea that continues to captivate the imaginations of many. American naval officer Richard E. Byrd made some fascinating reports after his expedition to the South Pole, known as Operation High Jump. Officially, this mission, which ran from 1946 to 1947 and was led by Admiral Byrd, was about setting up a research base and training personnel to handle extreme cold. But there was more to it. According to some theories, Operation High Jump wasn't just a straightforward research mission. Instead, it was a secret military operation aimed at investigating a hidden society beneath the Antarctic ice. This story suggests that Byrd and his team flew into an underground entrance to the center of the Earth, discovering a place often called the Crystal City. In this hidden world, they supposedly encountered extraterrestrial beings and strange aircraft. The environment was completely different from the icy surface, featuring lush forests. After making these incredible discoveries, Byrd was allegedly forced to keep it a secret. The astonishing tale only came to light years later when Byrd's journal, in which he detailed his experiences, was found. Let's talk about those craters in Antarctica again for a moment. Some people have some wild ideas about them. They don't think these craters are pathways to the Earth's center or secret military bases with terrible intentions. Instead, they believe these craters are secret bases for alien UFOs. Scott Waring, a UFO conspiracy theorist, has a particularly interesting theory. He thinks that a UFO, not an asteroid, made one of these craters when it crashed into the Earth and got buried in the ice. According to him, the government is now using this crater to store other UFOs and hide proof of alien life and activities. Waring even claimed that he saw an unedited picture of the crater where a UFO was visible. However, he says that all traces of this spaceship have since been erased from the internet. This theory adds a mysterious and thrilling twist to the story of these Antarctic craters. Organism 46b is a spooky urban legend about a strange sea creature that Russian scientists supposedly found while drilling in Vostok Lake. This creature is described as a jelly-like being, almost like a giant squid with extreme venom. It can also quickly change its shape and look like other sea animals. According to the story, Organism 46b hunts in a very unusual way. It can stretch out long, thin arms from its body to paralyze and then eat its prey. The legend says that Russian scientists tried to study this creature to figure out how it works and maybe use its abilities as a weapon. However, their experiments went wrong, leading to the deaths of several researchers. In the end, the Russian government allegedly covered up the entire incident. One of the most intriguing theories suggests that all of Antarctica is a massive and unethical weapons testing site. According to this theory, the reason Antarctica is so off-limits isn't because of environmental concerns, but because world leaders are working with brilliant but immoral scientists. Together, they're supposedly creating unimaginable weapons, from explosives far deadlier than the largest nuclear bombs to brain implants or chemicals in our water that could make people blindly loyal to the elite. Imagine the scariest weapons you can think of. They're either already in Antarctica or being developed there. This idea is terrifying, especially when you consider how governments have a history of using secret locations to test dangerous weapons. Scientists have made an astonishing discovery in Antarctica, a new type of bacteria that can survive solely on the gases in the air. Researchers from the University of New South Wales in Australia uncovered these extraordinary microbes. These tiny organisms live in some of the harshest conditions on Earth, where food and energy sources are extremely scarce. They survive by consuming hydrogen, carbon monoxide, and carbon dioxide from the atmosphere. Despite the brutal cold, lack of water, months of darkness, intense ultraviolet radiation, and constant freezing and thawing, these bacteria manage to thrive. This discovery raises fascinating questions. How can these organisms live without traditional energy sources like sunlight? To investigate, scientists collected soil samples from two ice-free areas in Antarctica, Robinson's Ridge and Adams Flat. These locations were chosen because they lack the usual microbial food sources. Through detailed genetic analysis, researchers mapped out the DNA of 23 different microbes found in the soil. They identified two new groups of bacteria, named WPS2 and ADR3. What surprised the scientists the most was how efficiently the dominant bacteria could extract hydrogen and carbon monoxide from the air, enough to sustain themselves. These bacteria flourish in an environment without sunlight, geothermal energy, or nutrients. When we think of mountains, we often imagine tall peaks reaching high into the sky. Mountain ranges often create beautiful backdrops for many amazing places and destinations. Some of the most adventurous people even climb these dangerous peaks for the thrill of adventure and scientific discovery. Beneath the ice of Antarctica lies a sharp mountain range similar to the European Alps, but hidden under the ice. This discovery suggests that the massive ice sheet formed incredibly quickly, which challenges what scientists previously thought and raises concerns about how global warming might affect sea levels. Scientists using radar and gravity sensors set out on a unique mission to map the Gamburtsev subglacial mountains. They expected to find a flat area, but instead found a landscape full of peaks and valleys, much like the European Alps. Fausto Ferraccioli, a geophysicist from the British Antarctic Survey, noted that these untouched jagged peaks indicated that the ice sheet had rapidly formed, preserving the rugged landscape beneath up to 2.5 miles of ice. This discovery opens a new chapter in understanding how ice sheets behave geologically. Mountain ranges like the Alps and the Himalayas form when continents collide. Antarctica's last collision with other landmasses happened about 500 million years ago. The intriguing part for researchers is that while the Alps are relatively young, being only 50 to 60 million years old, the Gamburtsev mountain range might be as ancient as 500 million years. Antarctica's Thwaites Glacier, often called the Doomsday Glacier, is a massive ice formation in the western part of the continent. This glacier has caught the world's attention because of its potential to significantly raise sea levels, leading some to worry about its catastrophic effects on Earth. The glacier is enormous, spanning about 75 miles at its widest point. What makes it especially important is its fast-moving ice and its role as a barrier holding back a large portion of the West Antarctic ice sheet. If the Thwaites Glacier were to shrink or collapse significantly, it could cause nearby glacier to flow into the ocean, leading to a rise in global sea levels. The nickname Doomsday Glacier highlights the serious concerns about Thwaites. While scientists aren't sure exactly how quickly or how much sea levels might rise, they know that the glacier is vulnerable. Warm ocean waters are melting its floating ice from below, causing the point where the glacier meets the sea to retreat. The Thwaites Glacier is a crucial part of Antarctica, and what happens to it could have big effects on coastal areas all over the world. While it might not single-handedly bring about a doomsday scenario, it serves as a stark reminder of the impacts of climate change. Predicting what will happen to the glacier is a tough challenge, and scientists are working hard to understand the complex processes that control its future. The South Sandwich Trench is a very deep part of the ocean, found far away in the South Atlantic, close to the South Sandwich Islands. This mysterious underwater valley was discovered only recently in the late 20th century, and science started mapping it fully in the 1980s using special tools to measure seismic activity. Ever since then, the trench has amazed researchers with its surprising geological features and importance to the ocean. The main thing that makes the South Sandwich Trench interesting is that it lies where two huge pieces of Earth's crust meet. Here, the South American plate is sliding under the South Sandwich plate. This process, called subduction, often leads to earthquakes, volcanic eruptions, and other signs of geological turmoil. Because of this, the trench and the area around it are of great interest to scientists who keep studying it to learn more. Exploring the South Sandwich Trench is especially hard because it is in such a remote part of the ocean. The weather there is often harsh, with freezing temperatures and rough seas. This makes it tough for researchers to get there and study it. Its great depth and closeness to the South Sandwich Islands, which are themselves remote and volcanic, mean that much of the trench remains unexplored. Scientists are still curious about what might live in these dark, icy waters. Underwater rivers, also known as subaqueous rivers, are hidden streams flowing beneath the ocean's surface or within submerged caves. These mysterious currents, driven by differences in salinity and temperature, create unique ecosystems and transport sediments across great distances, impacting ocean dynamics. Though not extremely common, scientists and divers are familiar with them. However, discovering one in Antarctica is truly remarkable. This particular subglacial river in Antarctica is a natural marvel, even more impressive than the mighty Thwaites. Stretching over 285 miles and draining into the Weddell Sea, its existence was revealed using ice-penetrating radar during aerial surveys. What makes this discovery so fascinating is that beneath the thick, seemingly impenetrable ice lies a complex and interconnected river system, thriving as if the layers of ice above were non-existent. As we explore this icy network, we realize the river's catchment area is vast, equivalent in size to France and Germany combined. This raises important questions with potential global implications. The river flows beneath for massive ice streams, the Institute Ice Stream, the Muller Ice Stream, the Support Force Glacier, and the Foundation Ice Stream. As these ice borders retreat, the river emerges from beneath the ice shelf into the Weddell Sea. This under-ice river has the potential to significantly influence our planet's future. If this hidden river were to melt, it could lead to a staggering 14-meter rise in global sea levels. While such a dramatic change wouldn't happen overnight, it adds a layer of uncertainty as we confront the effects of a warming climate. In 2017, scientists from Edinburgh University made an amazing discovery. They found almost 100 hidden mountains buried 2 kilometers beneath the icy surface of West Antarctica. Some of these mountains are as tall as Switzerland's famous Matterhorn, reaching nearly 4,000 meters in height. This finding suggests that West Antarctica has a bigger mountain range formed by volcanoes than the more famous volcanic ridges in East Africa. Even though these volcanoes have been inactive for thousands of years, researchers warn that if they become active again, it could have serious consequences for the region. An eruption could make West Antarctica's already fragile ice sheets unstable, causing more ice to move into the sea and speeding up the rise of global sea levels. The study started with an idea proposed by a young student at Edinburgh University, Max van Wyk de Vries. Researchers used radar that can see through the ice to look beneath the surface, finding peaks of rock similar to volcanoes that explorers saw in the past 100 years. Finding 91 volcanoes that no one knew about before meant there were almost 3 times as many volcanoes in West Antarctica as people knew about. These mountains, buried under ice, are between 100 and 3,800 meters high and are located in a 3,500-kilometer-long stretch known as the West Antarctic Rift System. One of the people who wrote the study, Robert Bingham, was very surprised by what they found and thought there might be even more underwater mountains under the Ross Ice Shelf. The results of finding these new volcanoes are important not just for Antarctica. If they start to erupt, it could change things all over the world. Eruptions might make the region's ice sheets less stable and cause sea levels to rise as the water from the ice flows into the oceans. The researchers know that they are not sure about what these volcanoes have done in the past, but they think that it is worrying. They said that many of the hot places where volcanoes are active in the world now used to be covered with ice until not long ago, like Iceland and Alaska, and they have had more volcanic eruptions as the ice retreated. West Antarctica, which is already getting warmer from climate change and is making the ice less stable, might start to experience the same phenomenon. If there is less ice, there might be less weight on the volcanoes that are dormant, and they might become active. If that happens, it could make the ice sheets even less stable and cause sea levels to rise. What are your thoughts on the disturbing government secrets hidden at the South Pole? Share your thoughts with us in the comments section. Thank you for watching another episode. While you're still here, click the video on your screen to see more mind-blowing videos like this one.